Hey, I'm Scott and I'm an American in Bangkok. This is part 2 of rules to live by in Thailand, numbers 9 through 16. Rule number 9, learn the game. Play the game and win at the game. Basically that means learn about Thailand. Live it like the Thais live it, and you have a much better chance of winning per se. Okay, winning may not be the right word, but like I said, per se, you'll have a more positive outcome. Okay, let's see here. The next one, learn to speak Thai. Just because you learn the language doesn't mean you always need to use it. Learning the language is sometimes very beneficial. Sometimes it's beneficial just to say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't speak Thai. You find yourself in a little bit of a bind. There are people who, because they cannot communicate with you, they'll just go, oh, all right, enough, fine, just go, whatever, no problem. Okay? I personally think that learning the language is very important to learn the rules of the game. And, you have an advantage if you learn the language, and by not using the language, if you speak English or whatever other language it is that you speak, and that is called Dai Priep here in Thailand. That means to have the advantage. So I think it's very important. Okay, so this is what, number 9, 10, 11, and this is the third in this particular video. Number 11, bribery, no matter where you are, is still bribery. So you better be very careful when you find yourself in a sticky situation and you try to bribe your way out. Not all Thai policemen are corrupt, and you better watch yourself. That's all I got to say. And you may end up giving money to somebody and then nothing gets done and you're still in the same predicament. So you don't want that. Stay away from selling or exporting counterfeit goods. In Thailand, there are Thai people selling these items and they get away with it for whatever reason. But when you sell internationally, you are asking for trouble. My friend has been nabbed for trying to sell Formula One shirts, and then it's just not a good situation to find yourself in. All of a sudden, you got to come up with $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, and if you don't, you're going to jail or you're going to get deported or whatever. So, it's better you just don't do it. Okay. Number 13, and this is a big one. Do not assume that you can buy all Thai women. Despite what you might be told by people, not all Thai women are whores, and not all Thai women are going to take your money. They may end up elbowing you across the face or kneeing you in the balls because they're offended, or they might just go to the police, if you're a little bit too rude. So that's something that you might want to think about. Rule number 15. Be sure to have an escape plan if you're living here in Thailand. And what that means is make sure you got enough cash on hand to get out of town if you need to. If something happens and you need to get out, you may not be able to access the ATM. It's good to have an airline ticket available, whether it's just to Singapore or wherever. I think you really need to have an escape plan. You need to have a backup plan of what you can do if there's a big problem in this country. You never know. I just think it's a good idea. I don't always have the money available for myself to where I can do that for my family, but most of the time I do. Last but not least, oh wait a minute, there's 2 more. This is number 14. Never transfer more money to a Thai bank account than you can afford to lose. In some cases this may be overkill, but it might just save your life savings. I wish I could get into it more, but I want to keep this kind of short. I do think it's important that you really keep tabs on where your money is, because there are instances where a not so ethical Thai woman who you may be involved with might just go to a bank with your bank book and withdraw all your money. You don't want that happening, so you got to be very, very careful. Finally, you know, there's a lot of online dating that goes on, and you know, I'm completely against it. I'm a firm believer, and I'm not against it, let's put it another way. I think that it's a useful tool, but I think that being physically in someone's presence is the best way to get to know somebody. Just because you're talking to somebody on Skype or emailing back and forth for 6 months doesn't mean you really know them. You don't know what they're doing when you're not there, okay? If the eyes are the window to the soul, then body language and watching their mannerisms while you're sitting across the table from them, that is also a window into their soul, and I think that's very important. Some people may not agree with me, but this is my video, and this is what I think. So that is all for now. I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok di la chok kan mai. Until next time.